is responsible for abnormal termination of a program whenever there is a runtime error in the application. Okay. So as we talked in the last session, errors are two types. What are the two types? Compile time errors, runtime errors. And coming to compile time errors, we don't require to take these errors seriously at all. Compile time errors, no need to take them seriously at all, because there is no problem with compile time errors. And the second category of errors are runtime errors. Runtime errors. These are very, very important to handle. Why? Because runtime errors are dangerous. Because whenever a runtime error occurs in the code, what happens? The program will be abnormally terminated. The program will be abnormally terminated on the same line where the error got occurred without executing the next lines of code. I repeat, whenever there is a runtime error, the program will be abnormally terminated on the same line where the error got occurred. You got an error and the program is going to be abnormally terminated. So that is the problem with runtime errors. So like this, the two different categorization of your errors: compile time errors, runtime errors. And why do runtime errors occur? Runtime errors occur due to various reasons, I said you. First one, wrong implementation of logic. Second, missing of any required resources, wrong inputs supplied to the programs. All these things are going to cause you runtime error. And whenever there is a runtime error, what will happen? Programs are abnormally terminated. Programs are abnormally terminated on the same line where the error got occurred without executing the next lines of code. Suppose tomorrow you have some 1,000 lines of code in your application and you got an error at line number 10. The remaining 990 lines of code will not execute now. So there will be abnormal termination at line number 10. So that is the problem what we have with runtime errors. Okay. Well, now we are trying to understand various things here. What are they? Whenever a runtime error occurs, programs are abnormally terminated. Fine, we saw that clearly. And who is doing that internally? Who is doing that internally? What? Abnormal termination. Who is doing the abnormal termination internally? Yes, guys, who is doing the abnormal termination internally? Exceptions are doing. Who is doing that? Exceptions are doing. So basically, if you talk, who is responsible for abnormal termination? The answer is exceptions are responsible. Okay. And then we discussed what is an exception. An exception is a class. An exception is a class. An instance of that particular class will take the responsibility of abnormal termination. I repeat, an exception is a class and instance of that class will be responsible for abnormal termination of the programs. Your abnormal termination will be taken care by the exceptions basically. Okay. Another important thing, if you remember, class means it is not one class. There are multiple classes. I shown you already in the last class. If at all you're trying to give a wrong input to a field, suppose for an integer, you're trying to assign a string, it'll give you a format exception. For an integer only, if you give the bigger value than its capacity, overflow exception. We got an overflow exception. And if the loop runs more than the number of values of an array, we got array index out of bounds exception. Like this, it's not like 1 year. Various different types of errors are there. What we come across here actually. Okay, various different classes are there. Okay, so where we stopped it? Yes, yeah. Who is responsible for abnormal termination of programs? Abnormal termination of programs when there is a runtime error occurred in code. When there is a runtime error occurred in the code. Yeah. Who is responsible? Exceptions are responsible. That is, designers of the language defined these exceptions to perform an abnormal termination. Say, number of times I was telling you this point. If an application is doing anything internally, means what is the meaning? There is some logic implemented already. Are you getting me or not? If an application is doing anything internally, what is the meaning? There is some logic implemented internally. Who implemented? The designer of the language. Someone who designed the language has done this implementation to you now. Are you getting me? Someone who designed the language has performed the implementation for you. Okay. Next, what is an exception? Exception is a class. An instance of this class is responsible for abnormal termination of programs when there is a runtime error in the code. So who is responsible? Instance of the class is responsible for abnormal termination of programs when there is a runtime error in the code. Whenever there is a runtime error in the code, the instance of the exception class will take the responsibility to perform the abnormal termination. Is it clear or not? Who is it? Instance of the class will take the responsibility for abnormal termination of the program now. Okay, next. The other thing what we talked is class in the sense it is not a single class. That is, there are various exception classes that are predefined and each class represents a different type of runtime error. Understood or not? What is that? There are various classes, exception classes. There are various classes and we call them as exception classes, and all these are predefined which are responsible for abnormal termination. And every class represents a different type of error. All are not same. Just if you watch it, as I showed in the last class, this is a program what we have implemented. Very simple. What are you asking? Enter integer value. Next. We are trying to read that value, and next we are printing the value. We are printing the value, and finally end of the program. This is what we have implemented. If you run this code, just a second. If I enter a proper integer value, no issue. Everything will be fine now. Value of I is 100, end of the program, everything was successfully executed. But see if I enter a non-integer value. It's not an integer. So error. And read this. The input string 12.34 was not in a correct format. It is giving an error message describing the error now. Yes or not? Same way, I'm giving an integer value, but this is bigger than the size of the int now. This is bigger than the size of the int. So what happens? Overflow. You'll get an overflow exception. What is the error message? It is too large or too small for an int 32. Are you clear? Either it is a too large. What is too small, sir? If it is negative, it is too small only. It is a positive, too large. That's what it is telling you, too large value or too small value for an int 32. But it's a different class, overflow exception. Same way yesterday, we tried to write some code that goes beyond the size of an array. Index out of bounds or index out of range exception we got. Yes or not? Okay, like this, a variety of exceptions are there. And all are different classes. Okay, once again, exception is a class. An instance of this class is responsible for abnormal termination of program when there is a runtime error in the code. At this point, class in the sense, it is not a single class. That is, there are various exception classes that are predefined and each class represents a different type of runtime error. All are not same. Every class is going to represent a different type of runtime error. Next. Every exception class performs two actions when it comes into picture. What are those? You notice that first abnormal termination is happening. Second, just now we saw that it describes you the reason for the error. It is going to give you an error message describing about the error. Okay, have a look. List of some predefined exception classes. What is the first class? Listen, this is the parent class for all the exceptions. This is the parent class for all the exceptions. So this is the parent. Under that only all the exception classes will be present. Okay. See, every class does two actions now. What is the first one? Now tell me, abnormal termination logic is going to be same for all the classes or going to vary? Tell me. Simple common sense here. Abnormal termination is same every time now. But what about displaying an error message? It is different. It is different. So this code doesn't require re-implementation if we use inheritance. Correct? Huh? See, what is the first class? What it contains? See, all the logic for abnormal termination was defined in the exception class now. So that logic is inherited to all the child classes now. So in all the child classes, this logic can be consumed directly. Are you clear? What is different? And that logic will be in the child classes, guys. That logic will be in the child classes. Okay, have a look. What is the first class? Under that, there are two child classes here. Two child classes. First child class is system exception. Second child class is application exception. Clearer? There are two child classes here. First one is system exception. Second one is application exception. Under system exception, these are all again the subclasses, child classes. Like what? Format exception, null reference exception, index out of range exception, arithmetic exception. Under arithmetic exception, overflow exception, divide by zero exception. They're categorized. They are categorized. Like one day, when we talked about inheritance, I just said you, what are that? Based on the attributes, we do the categorization. Here, what is the parent? It's a parent of all the staff, students and staff and everyone now. And these are attributes common. And now this is the second class. What is the second class? A student. And these are the attributes specific to students. So these 4 plus these 4, total 8 attributes now. And now when you come to staff, there are two types of staff here. Teaching staff. For teaching and non-teaching, what is common? Salary and designation are common. And for teaching, qualification and subject are specific. For non-teaching, department name and MGR ID are specific. Same process. Here what we have, exception class. One side what we have, application exception. Second side, system exception. Under system exception, again we have 4 child, not 4 here, so many are there. Just what I shown you, I'm telling you. Under that, again, under arithmetic exception, again we have overflow exception. Okay, divide by zero exception. That's how they are categorized. Is it clearer, all of you? Okay, so that is how these classes are defined for you. See, read the note. Every class comes into picture for a different type of random error. For a different type of error that got occurred. All are not same. If all are same, we don't require multiple classes. One class is enough. Everything is different. Every class comes into action for a different type of error. Okay now? Fine. Watch it carefully. What is the first class? Understand the logic of exception class. What is the logic of exception class? See, the logic for abnormal termination is going to be common for all. So where is it implemented? Exception class and inherited to all the child classes. It is defined in the exception class and inherited to all the child classes. Second, guys, carefully understand virtual read-only property. Virtual means we can override that now. We can override. And also read-only. It doesn't have a setter. It has only a getter. Okay. With the name message to publish the error message. And because this property is virtual, all child classes can override it as per the requirement to display a different error message. Did you understand me? So what they done is, in this class, they implemented the logic for abnormal termination and telling all the child classes can use it. Now, second thing is error message to be published. Same error message or different error message? When it is different, I cannot implement this here now. So that's why what they done, they defined a virtual read-only property here and said that all the child classes can override it and give the error message of their choice now. Are you getting me? Sir, if I don't give, means if suppose you are the implementer of this class, for example, you are implementer of this class. You want to publish an error message now. So what do? You override the message property and write the logic what you wanted to see now. If you don't do that, no problem. What will happen? Something is implemented already in the parent class now. That message gets published. Why? It is not abstract. It is virtual. Understand? It is virtual. Virtual means it's a re-implementation. Already there is an implementation in the parent class and we are re-implementing it. But it's abstract. It is implementation, not re-implementation. There is nothing in the parent mandatory for the child class to implement it. Okay? But that's why I'm clarifying here. It is a virtual read-only property. It is a virtual. So overriding is only optional. And it is read-only, no setter. So all the child classes can do that. So let me show you how exception classes are implemented in our libraries. How exception classes are implemented in our libraries. Have a look. Okay, one by one class. Let us start with the exception class. Have a look, guys. This is the exception class. What do you have? A constructor. And in the constructor, what is present? Logic for abnormal termination. Okay, second. Public virtual string message. Virtual read-only property. What is the error message? Remember guys, if the child class is not overriding the property, what is the error message that will be shown on the screen, Error in the application. If the child class is not re-implementing, what is the message you will see? Error in the application. If you're not satisfied with that message, what can you do? Override it as per your requirement. Okay. Next, what is the second class? The system exception and application exception are just categorizations. Only a category, just like a student, teacher, or like a staff, teaching staff, non-teaching staff. This is only a categorization. So it is not important for us to understand what is present inside of this class at all. It's a category, that's it. So that's why I'm not bothered about that class. See what I done? Are you clearer or not? So what is inside of it is none of our business. Why? That is only a categorization. Next class. Do you remember the error message what you got for a formal exception? One more time I'll show you. It was not in a correct format. Okay? Okay, fine. Have a look. See the implementation of the format exception. Okay. First given format, format exception. Public class inheriting from. See, this class is writing only one, doing only one thing. What is it? Overriding the message property. Overriding the message property. And this class is not satisfied with the original error message. What is the error message? Error in the application. What do you understand by that here? If I say error in the application, what error? We don't know. So that's why it is changing the things. What is it writing? See? The input string value was not in a. Here what will come? The user given value will come now. What will come here? The user given value. See, right now the user given value is something like a 12.34. See now. The user given value now. Okay, so that's what. See, the input string value was not in a correct format. Understood? Same way, yesterday I shown you a. Okay, not yesterday. Just a second. Long back we learnt about this one, guys. Remember? Class first. Where I said about instance creation, destructions, and all the things. Yeah. What you're doing? F1 is equals to null. You are dereferencing the instance, correct? And once you say F1 is equals to null, this is an invalid statement. Do you remember? We get an error. What error? Not a compile time error, runtime error. Watch it. F2.x will print the value and F1.x will give you error. Sorry. See there. F1.x is printing the value. F2.x is printing the value. F1.x is giving an error. What are the errors? See? Namespace is system here. See some error message. You saw some error message here, right? Okay. So, based on this, understand null reference exception. Okay, and see the code. That is what the error message is shown us there now. Yesterday, we gone beyond the size of an array and we got an error. Index was outside the bounds of the array. Index was outside the bounds of the array. Are you guys clearer or not? All the child classes started re-implementing. Next class, again, this is a categorization. All the arithmetic exceptions are brought into one category. Let's not bother about what is present in this. Then the next class is overflow exception, divide by zero exception, like this. Okay, have a look. See there. Arithmetic exception. Inheriting from system exception. Under that we have what? Inheriting from arithmetic exception. What is the error message? Already in the morning we read this error message and understood also it is either too large or too small for an int 32. Are you getting me or not? Same way, if I ask you, can you tell me the logic for divide by zero exception? Okay, what is the error message? I'll tell you. What is the logic? Come on. Public. Tell me. Brainless fellows. Write the class first here. Who will write the class for you again? Class divide by zero exception. Inheriting from arithmetic exception. Inheriting from the arithmetic exception. Where arithmetic exception inherits from system exception. System exception inherits from exception. Ultimately, exception is on the top now. Now, under this class, you're required to go for overriding the message property. Public override string message. And it's a read-only property, right? What we have is only a get accessor. What we have is only a get accessor. Written. Okay. So, actually, when you try to divide a number by zero, you get this exception. When, see, as per mathematics, a number cannot be divided by zero. So, when you try to divide a number by zero, we get this particular exception. What is the error message, you know? Attempted to divide by zero is the error message what will be published. Attempted to divide by zero is the error message what is going to be published for you there. Are you clearer or not? This is how the classes are implemented for you in the libraries. I'm not asking you to implement the classes. I'm only telling you how they are implemented. Now, based on this year, going forward, you can also define your own exception classes now. Did you catch my point or not? You can also define your own exception classes. And that's a very simple process. What is the process? Step 1, define a class and inherit from any predefined exception class. Understood? Define a class and inherit from any predefined exception class. Step 2, override the message property and implement the logic to display the error message you wanted to publish. What error message you wanted to publish, implement that logic there. Finish. Got it or not? Okay, we will do this also, guys. What is it? We will also define our own exception classes. I'll tell you the reason for that going forward. Are you clear how the classes are implemented? Sir, we understood how the classes are implemented, but the big confusion is who is going to create the instance of this particular classes, because I did not do it anywhere. See, error came. Let's come back to exception demo. Error came here. And this exception came now. Which class? Who created the instance of this class now? We did not create it anywhere now. Did we do that? We did not. We are only focused on our logic. Okay, that is only our next question. What is it? Who creates the instance of exception class when there is a runtime error? Who creates the instance of exception classes when there is a runtime error? Okay, so understand. Do you remember in the starting classes we learned, what is it? You write C# code. Afterwards, compile it by using C# compiler, converts into CIL code, correct? And CIL code is executed by louder CLR. The CIL code is executed by the CLR. And if you recollect the architecture of the CLR internally has lots of components in it. Like a garbage collector, we already learned about the garbage collector. JIT compiler, which is responsible for converting the CIL code into machine code. Remember or not? I shown you a picture that represents the CLR architecture. Starting, I did not explain much about this one, but now guys, you started using lots of things in it. What is the first one? Every day you're consuming all the libraries now. See, exception classes are predefined in the libraries only. That is the libraries. Second, you started watching the multi-threading videos. Thread support. That is the thread support. Next. COM marshaller. Actually, we not bothered about this one. Actually, this COM marshaller is not important for us. Long back here, see, before .NET came, Microsoft has a language called Visual Basic. .NET came in 2002. And in the history, I said, you remember, in 1991, Microsoft has first launched a language called Visual Basic. And that Visual Basic is platform dependent and not fully object oriented. Later on, they came out with a .NET in 2002. So when .NET came in the market, Microsoft introduced this concept called COM marshaller, using which VB code can be converted into .NET and consumed in .NET applications. Today, it's not important for us, but long back in the starting days of .NET, this is a very, very important feature. Okay, 22 years back, man. Today we don't have VB libraries and conversion, all these things are not there, but that component job is that. Next one. You know this. Int I is equals to hello. Error or not? Type checker is the one which is going to take care of it now. Or you can't assign this now. Okay, and security engine. Recollect, you already know about the security engine. It will not allow the applications to interact with the operating system or the operating systems to interact with the applications. Debug engine. I taught you debugging for you, F9, F10, F11. You know how to debug, right? The responsibility of debugging is taken by the debugging engine. MSL to native compiler, JIT compiler. You know about the JIT compiler. First, your C# code is converted into CIL. That is nothing but assembly. We learned about the assemblies in detail. C# code is compiled and converted into assemblies. VB code is compiled and converted into assemblies. Later on, these assemblies can be exchanged with each other. Language independency or interoperability. All these things theoretically as well as practically also we have learned. Next. Nothing to talk about code manager here. It manages the code. Next. Yes, already in the finalizers classes, I explained you about the garbage collectors functionality to you. Okay, next one. Class loader. As the name indicates, it is going to load you the classes. From where, sir? From base class libraries. You are consuming an array class in the code now. Class loader is responsible to load that class now. Are you kidding me or not? Whatever required classes are there, all the classes will be loaded by the class loader. Here only one thing we did not understand. What is it? I did not intentionally talk about this. This is the class which will create the instance of your exceptions. Sorry, this is the one which creates the instance of your exception classes. Let me tell you. See, when I execute a program, my program will be running under the monitoring of the CLR. Agree with me? Tell me. CLR is the execution engine of the .NET runtime, where all .NET applications runs under the monitoring of the CLR. In the introduction classes, we discussed on this already. What is that? CLR is the execution engine, and all .NET applications runs. What I said to you, if runtime is a car, CLR is the engine of the car. And without the engine, your car will not run. So who is your engine now? CLR. So all your programs will be executing under the monitoring of the CLR. Okay. Now I'm giving a wrong number here. I'm giving a wrong number here. And when I hit enter, CLR identifies now. What is this? It's a double. And inside the variable is integer. This double cannot be converted into integer. So immediately it will call the exception manager. It will call the exception manager and tells, check what is happening. See what is happening. So exception manager checks now the problem. What is it? The user is trying to convert a double into integer, which is not possible. Now it will pick up the class that is related with this error. What is the class related with this error? Format exception. It will pick the class. From where? From the libraries, it will pick the class. Will create the instance of the class. Will create the and throws it. Understand English correctly. It will pick the class, create the instance and throws it. Once that instance is thrown, it will do its job. What is its job? Abnormal termination. What is its job? Abnormal termination and publish the given error message. Abnormal termination and publish the given error message. Are you getting me or not? Okay, so this is what exactly that does for you. So who is doing all this work in the background? Exception manager is going to do that. So first, it will identify the error. Second, it will pick the class associated with the error. Third, creates the instance of the class. Four, throws it. And once that is thrown, the object will do its work. What is its work? Abnormal termination of the program. Second, publish the error message associated with the error. These are all the activities that are going to be performed behind the screen. Are you clear? Why I talked about this instance creation and all the things in detail is because yesterday morning also, when I explained you what is an exception, I clearly said you here. Read it again. And instance of this class is responsible, I said here. So when we say instance of this class is responsible, we'll get a doubt. Who created this instance? I did not do any of this instance creation in the code at all. When I did not do this instance creation, how the instance is coming into action? Are you clear? We'll have a doubt on it. For that only I given the clarity. You can read it now. Every program executes inside of .NET runtime. .NET's runtime, that is under the monitoring of CLR, because we have already learned that CLR is the execution engine of .NET's runtime. Are you clearer or not? What is that? Every program I'll say will execute inside of .NET's runtime, that is under the monitoring of CLR, under the monitoring of CLR, because we have already learned that CLR is the execution engine of .NET's runtime. Okay, now next. Whenever there is a runtime error in our code, exception manager which is present inside of the CLR will identify the error which got occurred. Next, fix the exception class that related with the error from the predefined libraries. Next, creates instance of that class and throws that instance so that instance of exception class which is thrown by exception manager will perform abnormal termination of the program. It displays the error message that is associated with that class to end users. It is going to publish the error message associated with that class to end users. Are you clearer or not? Tell me confidently. Understood everyone? Who is doing this work for you? Exception manager is doing. Guys, I have a glass door there. I have a glass door there and I have a cricket ball in my hand. And I'm going to throw this ball against the glass door now. What happens? Once the ball goes and hits the glass breaks. Correct or not? Once the ball goes and hits the glass breaks. Correct or not? Here also the same thing I'm telling you. What is it? There, you're throwing a cricket ball. Here you're throwing a exception object. That ball is also doing destruction only. This exception object also is doing destruction only. Once that is thrown, it will do destruction. You throw a bomb. What will it do? Destruction. What it does? A distraction. Also the same thing only. Once the exception object is thrown, what it will do? Destruction. I hope you are clear. Understood about exceptions first? I taken the time to first explain about exception in clear for you. Are you all clear about exceptions? Okay, now tell me, what happens when an exception occurs? Abnormal termination. Are you okay with the abnormal termination? No? You're not okay with the abnormal termination? Tell me confidently. Then we need to handle it. That is our next topic. What is that? Just a minute. Exception handling. Before I say about exception handling, already on the top we discussed now. What are the two things? Second one, two categorizations I shown you. What is system exceptions now? Everything that comes under this, every class that comes under this category, these class instances are created by exception manager and thrown. Who will create? All these class instances are created by exception manager and thrown. Everything that comes under this, user will create and throw. Developer will create and throw. Who will create and throw? Developer will create and throw. Here, exception manager will create and throw. Here, means, are we going to do that, sir? Yes, we are going to do that. Okay, now, just read it. That is, whatever exceptions we came across till now in our code are all system exceptions only, not application exception. What are application exceptions? Developers will do it. Okay, first let us complete the discussion on, then I will teach you about application exception. Okay, come on. Read it. It is a process of stopping abnormal termination of the programs whenever runtime error occurs in the program. Why? Because runtime errors will do an abnormal termination. Because runtime errors will do an abnormal termination, we are going to, we need to stop the abnormal termination. Okay, next. What is the advantage of handling exceptions? We have the following advantages now. First one. Abnormal termination stops. When abnormal termination stops, statements not related with the error can still be executed now. Did you understand me or not? Just for example, have a look. You are getting an error when you give a wrong value there. Error comes on that line. Yes or not? When error comes on this line, the third line is related with the second line now. The third line is related with the second line. So when there is an error here, I should not execute this code. But tell me, what is the link between the fourth line and the second line? Yes or not? But if error occurs on second line, fourth line is not executing now. Today, there is only one line there, but imagine you have 100 lines there. If an error occurs there, all this line of code are not getting executed. In a classroom, there are 100 students. One student is being mischievous. One student is being mischievous in the class. And the teacher got angry and left the class now. Array, understand here, because of that one student, 99 students are suffering from here now. That is the problem. See, if there is an error here, don't execute this line. But why are you not executing this line? How it is related with it? Are you clear? Read this point again. Did you understand me or not? If I can handle the exception, statements not related with the error can still be executed. Second point. You understand me? All the predefined error messages, what you're getting here, are designed targeting a developer. You're trying to open a file which is not existing. File not found exception. What is that? File not found exception. And it will display some error message on the screen now. How will the end user understand that? Tell me first. Does the end user know this data is coming from a file, a database? All this is nonsense to the developer, end user now. Think like an end user. If I tell something about the program application errors, how do you know? You don't know C# at all first. Think you are an end user now. You don't know C#. If I show you some complex error message, what is that object creation? Whatever it is. Right now, for a null reference exception, we got an error message. What is the error message? What will end user understand? Tell me now. Did you understand me or not? So these error messages are designed targeting a developer, not a. So hide them and show user-friendly messages to the user. Hide them and show user-friendly messages to the user. Next. We can take some corrective measures. We can take some corrective measures to fix the problems. Like what? Yesterday I said you an example. Remember, you're doing a funds transfer operation. You're transferring 50,000 rupees from your account to one of your friend's account. So there are two steps here. What is the first step? The money should be deducted from your account. Second step, the money should be added to the target account. First, it should be deducted from the source and added to target. So now, first operation was successful. What is that? Deducting the money from your account. What is the second operation? And before adding the money, there is a exception in the code and program was abnormally terminated. Are you getting me? But already you deducted 50,000 from me. You deducted 50,000 and now you performed an abnormal termination. The money was not added to the target account and I lost the money. Yes or not? Now tell me, is it dangerous or not? It's only I said your runtime errors are dangerous. Are you clear? If you can perform exception handling there, if you can perform the exception handling, what you can do? You can roll back this transaction. What is that? Roll back the transaction. Means what is the meaning? Add the money back to your source. Add the money back to the source again. You cannot add it in the target. What should I do? Okay, all of you are using ATMs now. Whenever you try to withdraw money from your account, there are two actions that are performed. What are the two actions? One is, it has to release the money. The machine has to release the money. Second one, it should update your database. It should update your database records now. Can you guess what is done first? Which action is done first? Releasing the money first or updating the database first? Updates the database first and then releases the money. Updates the database first and releases the money. Why, sir? First updates the database. Afterwards, there is some technical issue and money was not able to be released from the machine now. and you notice immediately it will roll back and the money is added back into your account. Yes or not? The money is added back into your account. But imagine here, first it releases the money and afterwards updating now. First, what is it doing? Releasing the money. Afterwards, updating. The money came to your hands now. It was not able to update the database. Are you so generous? Tomorrow you'll go to bank and surrender the money back. You say happy, oh, I got the money, my account is not updated. It's a system problem. Yes or not? But if the same mistake happens with you, means money was updated, not released, will you be satisfied like, okay, system problem, leave it? No. Right or not? So that is why, first what it will do? Updates the database and releases the money. If it could not release the money, transaction is rolled back and the money gets added back into your account. So did you understand the third point correctly now? Performing a corrective action if required to fix problems that are going to come due to the runtime error. Are you getting me? These are the three benefits. First one, abnormal termination stops. So statements not related with error can be executed. Second one, you can display user-friendly messages in place of predefined messages. Third one, some corrective actions can be performed to fix the problems that are going to come due to the error. These are the three benefits of handling an exception. So that is why we should handle the exceptions in the code now. How to handle, sir? I'll tell you how to handle. Just a minute. Can we see the source code of exception classes? How is it defined? Yes, you can. I already said you here. Right click, go to definition. This is the source code of the class. If you think you're capable to understand, go and read it. Are you clear? You can see the source code of any class. You can see the source code of any class. No issues. Right click, go to definition. It will show you the source code of the class. But thing is, we will not be in a position to understand the code at all first. Okay? Very complex logic. See, you're still in the basics. You're still in the basics. See, what I feel, I know only 20% in .NET here. I know only 20% in .NET. Now imagine yourself, where are you? I know only 20% in .NET. That's all. Are you clear? Okay, I'm teaching .NET from last 15 years. I thought nearly 1 lakh people till now, but I know only 20%, I say. There is an ocean here. No one knows everything. Are you clear? So generally we specialize in what we require. That's all. But if you want to learn everything, means that's an ocean. Understood my point or not? Okay, it takes a lot of time for us to understand all the appropriate things. So if you go there also, you cannot really understand the logics, what they have implemented, until you get some good experience. Okay, fine. Well, coming back, yes, what do you want to learn now? How to handle an exception. How to? Okay, how to handle an exception? You need to enclose our code under 2 special blocks known as try and catch blocks, which should be used as below, like this. Try statements which are going to cause the runtime errors. Statements which doesn't require exception when the runtime error occurs. Both of them should be in the try block. Afterwards, catch. You are required to specify which exception class you wanted to catch. So many classes are there, na? You are required to tell the class name, followed by a variable, and then statements which require to be executed only when error occurs. See, when do you roll back? When there is an error here. When do you roll back? When do you display error message? That's what. The catch block should contain the code what should execute only when error occurs. Understood? When error occurs, what should happen? That should be in the catch block. And here we should write which statements are going to cause the runtime error. And also we need to write which statements doesn't require execution when the error occurred. Okay, I'll show you. Just a second. First, let me show you a program which causes some errors. First, let me show you a program which is going to cause you some errors. A simple program which is going to cause you different errors in the application. Have a look, guys. Look at this code, all of you. Okay, what you're doing? Asking to enter the first number, reading and converting into integer. Next, second number, reading and converting to integer. Next, you're dividing them. Finally, printing the result, end of the program. Earlier, we written this program for adding two numbers. Today, I've written this code for dividing two numbers. Nothing special. Come on, let's run. 100, 50, or 5. Okay, you got the result. The result of division is 20, end of the program. Nothing problem now. But in this code here, there is a chance of getting 3 runtime errors. There is a chance of getting 3 runtime errors. First one, format exception. Second one, divide by 0 exception. Divisor value cannot be 0. Divide by 0 exception. Read their message. Early in the morning I said you attempted to divide by 0. Next, third one, overflow exception. Simple program only, but we did not see this earlier. But there are 3 exceptions occurring in the code now. Are you clearer or not? Now, shall we handle the errors by using a try-catch blocks now? Tell me. Okay, this is my first program where I taught you how exceptions are going to occur in the code. Now let me add you another class now. We'll name it as try catch demo. What is that? Try catch demo. What I'm writing is the same code only from the previous. Now let us copy the main method from here and paste it. Same code. Again, we'll get errors here now. But now, what is our requirement? We want to handle. We want to handle the errors. Okay, if that is the case, you're required to put your code in the try-catch blocks now. So first, let us start with the try. Tell me, what statement should be in the try? Statements which are going to cause the runtime error should be in the try now. Okay, now answer me. Are you going to get any error here? Past year? No. Are we going to get an error here? Yes. Third line? Fourth line? Fifth line? Yes. Divide by 0. Sixth line? Yes or no? What error will come there? No, no. That's not going to give any error. Next line? No. Okay, what are going to cause error? Int x equal to int y is equals to int z is equals to. These are going to cause you the error now. So let me copy this code and let me shift into try block. Now see all the statements causing the errors are in the try block now. What next? Not catch. We have one more. Statements that doesn't require execution when the error occurred. Now understand, if the error occurs, do you want to execute this line? No, I don't want to execute this line when the error occurs. Why? Array, that should print the result only. When that operation is not successful, how will I print the result now? So this should also come into try block now. Are you getting me? Now tell me, if error occurs, do you want to execute this line? I want to execute this line. This line is not at all related with the error at all. Did you understand me? This line of code is not at all related with the error. So this line should execute irrespective of the error for me. What next? Catch. Catch what? Guys, watch. Catch. I wanted to catch divide by 0 exception. I want to start with the divide by 0 exception. So type the class name there. Divide by 0 exception followed by a variable. EX. Okay, and all of you carefully understand. It comes to this catch block only when there is an error. It comes to the catch block only when there is an error. When there is an error, do you want to tell about the error to the user or not? Yes or not? Yes, I want to tell about the error to the user. Then write the code for displaying the error message now. Write the code for displaying the error message. When you're displaying this error message, you have two options. First option, you can display the predefined error message. Second option, you can display user-friendly error message. So how can it display predefined error message? You already know that, nah. Call the message property. Already every class has the message property, na? ex.message. What it will show you? Predefined error message. Okay, observe it. I'm giving 100. I'm giving 0. Error occurs or not? But abnormal termination is not going to happen. Check it out. You got the predefined error message there. You got the predefined error message. But see, error, abnormal termination did not happen. What is the proof, sir? End of the program statement is printed now. That is only your proof now. If end of the program statement is printed, there is no abnormal termination happened in the code. Are you getting me or not? Sir, can I show my user-friendly message? Can I display an user-friendly message? Yeah, you can. Remove this ex.message and write down, what is it? Value to divisor should not be 0. I'm going to describe the error detail now. So divisor value should not be 0. So I'm giving 100 and that is wrong, telling you. Now you are more understandable now. Yes or not? So value to divisor should not be 0. I'm going to publish a user-friendly message. Are you clear what you do in the catch block now? Here, rollbacks won't come. See, that's why rollback is an example what I said you for a banking system. See, tomorrow you'll have different types of corrective measures. Here I don't require to take any corrective measure now. Here I don't require to take any corrective measure. But if at all you want to take any corrective measure, here only you should write. Going forward, the rollback code and all the things will be in the catch block only. Is that clearer, everyone? Yes or not? Now tell me, earlier, what did you write here? ex.message. Clearer or not? Now what you're doing? Value to divisor should not be 0. So you're using the ex or not using the ex? Answer me. That's why you got a green line under that. Do you notice? What is the green line? Are you declared it but did not use it anytime? You purchased something but you're not using it now. Are you getting me? Then why did you purchase and wasting the money now? Am I correct? Exactly. It was also asking me. You declared me but you never used it. Okay, if that is the case, let's not declare it. Let's not declare it. Look at the syntax, all of you. Variable is optional, not mandatory. Variable is optional. It is not mandatory. What is mandatory? Exception class name is mandatory, but variable is optional. It is in square braces indicating it is optional. So I don't require to use the variable there. Hope you guys are clear. Yes or not? Okay, let me tell you exactly what happens behind the screen. I'm giving 100, I'm giving 0. So there is an error, there is going to be an error in the code. There is going to be an error in the code, right? Exception manager comes. Exception manager identifies the error. Exception manager creates the instance of the associated class. Exception manager throws that instance. So now also will happen. Yes, now also all these actions will happen. Because you put the code in the try catch block, don't think like exception and exception object will not be created. But now also exception manager comes into picture. Exception manager identifies the error. Exception manager creates the instance. Exception manager throws the instance. But how is it stopping the abnormal termination? Actually, exception manager is throwing the instance. Okay. I said you an example in the morning. I was throwing a cricket ball against the glass now. What happens? Once the ball goes and hits the glass will break. Am I correct? But guys, before the ball hit the glass, someone caught the ball. Before the ball hits the glass, someone caught the ball. Now also abnormal termination will happen. Huh? No, na? Exactly the same thing is going to happen now here also. What is it? Exception manager thrown the instance. Exception manager thrown the instance. Are you clear? But before it is going to do an abnormal termination, my catch block caught it. What is happening? The catch block caught it, telling, stop, you're not allowed to do your work now. Are you getting me or not? Don't think like exception won't be thrown. Now also exception is thrown. But the thrown exception is caught by the exception manager, stopping the abnormal termination of your program. Are you guys clearer or not? Understood me or not? So now also exception objects are thrown by the exception manager, but those objects are caught by the catch block, stopping abnormal termination of the code. That is why abnormal termination is not happening here and simply showing the message value to divisor should not be 0. Hope you understood. Okay. Now see, I'm giving 100, I'm giving Y. What exception occurs? Format exception. What is that? Format exception. Now tell me, is the catch block capable of catching it? No. Why? You designed a catch block to catch divide by 0 exception, not format. So this catch block cannot catch it. The ball is thrown, okay, and you want to catch it, but it was flying above your height. You're not able to catch the ball now. You're not able to catch the ball. Yes or not? Abnormal termination. Abnormal termination. So what happened? Now also exception manager thrown it. And this catch block was trying to catch, but was not able to catch. Because it was not able to catch, it hit the glass now and abnormal termination happened. Are you clear? Then we'll have a doubt. What is the doubt? Sir, can we handle only one exception? If this is the case, this concept is useless for me now. Yes or not? So no worries here. Multiple catch blocks if required. It is like an if associated with multiple else ifs. An if associated with one try associated with multiple catch blocks. You can start writing multiple catch blocks here. Catch. No need, na? What is it? Input values must be integers only. Input values must be integers only. Are you clear? Any non-integer input is not going to be accepted. See, 100, 5, valid. All things are good. Okay, 100, 0. Divide by 0 error. Okay, so 100, something like, or otherwise, Y. Format exception. Okay, let's highlight it. When error message is printed, when result is printed. When error message is printed, when result is printed. If it is printing a result, let me show you the output in green color. Results I want to show in green color. Okay. By default, what is the color here? White. Right, default color is white now. Your text is in white color. Okay, same way. If errors are there, let us show in red color. Errors in red color. Okay, just observe. Valid or invalid? Will I get a result or not? Green. Green indicates success. Red indicates error. You got an error in the code now. Hope you guys are clear. Just I'm highlighting you, that's all. When you got error, when you got the result, to understand the point. Clearer or not? So like this, we can handle the errors. So for every error, there should be an associated catch block. There should be an associated catch block. But we have a small problem. What is the problem? When I was writing a program with all my experience and knowledge, okay? What is the question? If there is no error, exception object will be created. If there is no error in my code, even an exception creates an instance for the logic. Why error? Why it will create? What did I say? When there is an error, exception manager comes into picture and creates the instance. That clearly I said you now. When there is no error, why will it create you the instance now? Hussein, did you understand? When there is no error, why will it create, man? When error is there only, it will create. You do some mistake, the police is coming and putting a case on you. And without doing a mistake also, will they put a case on you? Why? Got it or not? Error there, then only it is going to create that. No error, no instance. Okay, fine. What we're talking? Yeah. When I was writing a program here, with all my knowledge and experience, I know what exceptions will occur for me, and I put the catch blocks. Afterwards, I sent to testing, and the testing team has tested some extra scenarios what I did not test, and they said that these exceptions are also occurring in the code. What I do? I added all the additional catch blocks what they suggested. I identified 2 here. Testing team said another 2. I added another 2. Total 4 catch blocks are there in the code. So everything is right. Okay. And now I send my code to production. Client started using it. Is there a guarantee from you? There is no other exception will occur in the code. Any guarantee? You tested. Even you tested also. Tester came out with some errors now. Yes or not? Even tester tested also. Some errors can be coming out in the future what the tester also did not test them now. Chance is always there. Am I correct or not? So there is some chance of getting an error what a developer and a tester did not identify that is going to cause a runtime error. But once an application goes to production, runtime errors should never occur. Technical problems should never come. See, I said you an example in the last class. A technical problem comes in a flight engine. At the time of testing, not a problem. But once it goes to live and the engine fitted in the flight and the flight in the air with passengers, from then onwards, these technical issues should not ever happen now. Yes or not? Okay. So like this, runtime error should never occur in the production. In the production. Then how are you going to control it? You did not identify, your tester did not identify. How are you going to control it? Like this. This works like a else block. This works like a else block. What I used? Catch exception. Exception is a parent of all the classes now? Yes or not? Okay. So now tell me, any class instance can be captured in it or not? It is capable of catching any type of exception. It is capable of catching any type of exception that is not caught by. First, it will give a chance for this catch block to catch it. If it can catch, fine. Otherwise, if this can catch block, it will catch it. You cannot catch this will catch everything now. Are you clearer or not? This will catch everything. No one can escape from that. Why, sir? Because that is what the third rule of inheritance tells you. A child class instance can be captured inside a parent class variable. Yes or not? A child class instance can be assigned to a parent class variable. Now, what is EX? EX is a variable of the exception class now. What is thrown? An instance of a child class that is now captured in the EX now. Abnormal termination stops. So this can catch any exception. Now you'll have a doubt. If this can catch any exception, what is the need of writing these two again, sir? Yes or not? Because you cannot do actions specific now. If at all you have only one catch block, how can you do specific actions? Specific actions in the sense, if there is a divide by zero exception, I want to write this error message in a file. I want to write the error message in a file. If there is a format exception, I want to write this error message in a database. Did you understand me? For divide by zero, I want to write in a file. For format, I want to write in a database. Are the same actions you're doing or different actions? Then how do you handle everything by using this catch block now? Why all this here? I'll ask you a straight question. How can you customize the error message? Tell me. Database, file storing, all the waste of time. How can you customize the error message? If everything is handled there only, how can you display different error messages for each scenario? Got it or not? What can I show you? I can only show you a general error message. Like what? I can only show you a general error message. Like what? What I can show? Error in the... What error? What error? Are you clear? Otherwise, without this, better thing here is, because we cannot customize, at least to show the predefined error message. Predefined error message. At least if we copy this in Google, we get some information about it. Are you getting me or not? But it is not possible to customize the error message here now. Are you clear? That is the reason why what they say is, array, whatever exceptions you know, first handle them with individual catch blocks. As a last option, use this catch. Tomorrow, you're writing a if-else condition here. You have one if, 10 else ifs. And afterwards, else. Total 12 conditions. One if, 10 else ifs. Lastly, else. If all the 11 misses, what will 12 say? No worry, I'll take care. Yes or not? So else will take care of everything now. Then don't write else ifs then. Will you do that? Why? Every condition requires to do a different type of work here. How can I write everything under the else now? That is not possible. So exactly this catch block also works like an else only. This catch block also works like a else in a if condition, or a default in a switch case. Like a default in a no one can escape from them. And be careful, don't try to write this on the top of the class anytime. Sorry, don't try to write this on the top catch. Means don't try to put this here. Why? When you put that, all these are giving errors, see? What is the error, sir? No, that is not this. This is the message. Array, the previous catch block already catches all the things. No one will come to me now. So this code becomes unreachable. So can you write if, else, else if? If, else if. Why? Syntax is a different story. No, why we can't write? Think logically. Why we can't write? If you write if else, everything will stop at else only. Who will come to else if now? Tell me, if you write if and else, everything is going to stop at else only. Who will come to else if now? Are you getting me or not? There is a grocery store in your area. People going to grocery store and purchasing, a medical store, a cloth store, everyone going to this. But on the top of it, there is a supermarket which has been started, a shopping mall. And once you go there, everything is present there now. You can purchase vegetables there. You can purchase grocery there. There is a medical store inside of it. There is a cloth store inside of it. Okay, crockery inside of it. Everything is available inside now. So people, what they do? Why should I go to different places when I can get everything at one place now? Yes or not? Okay, if that is far away, people try to use the local stores now. But if that is near, in your area, you have individual units as well as the supermarket also. Where will you go? The supermarket. I'll go to the mall now because I can get everything here. One Sunday, I require to go to every place and purchase all these particular things. Why I go to multiple places? What I think, let me go to the mall so that I can purchase everything there now. Am I right? Exactly. The same thing you just require to understand in this particular context also. What is that? If you write this on the top, everything stops here and nothing comes to below. That's why this should always be in the last. Okay. Finally, let me tell you, how does the code executes when it is in try catch block? How does the code execute when it is in the try catch block? Listen carefully. How does the code execute when it is present in the try catch block? Okay, listen. First, if all statements in try are executed successfully, what is the meaning of it? No error. If all statements in try are executed successfully, what is the meaning here? No error. When there is no error, okay, when all statements of the try are executed successfully, what happens, From the last line of try, from the control directly jumps to the first statement which is present after all the catch blocks. Did you understand? From here, control jumps to the first statement present after all the catch blocks. Tell me what is the first statement after all the catch blocks? End of the program. Today there is only one line here, but tomorrow imagine 10 lines are there. Where it comes to the first line after all the catch blocks and executes all the remaining 10 lines of code. Are you clearer or not? You can observe it. Watch. Now see, it executes this code, right? No error in the code now. Did you understand? If all statements are try are successfully executed, from the last statement of try, control directly jumps to not end of the program. First statement present after all the catch blocks without executing any catch block. Without executing any catch block. Got it? Okay. Second, if any statement of try causes an error, suppose I got an error on this line. I got an error on this particular line. From that line, control directly jumps to catch block without executing the next lines of code. Did you understand me? If I get an error here, you don't ask me for the second number. Watch it if you want. Is this an error or not? When this is error, why should I ask you second value? Waste of time. Yes or not? Check. Do you understand or not? Okay, again I'm telling you. When there is an error at any statement in try, when there is a error in any statement at try, okay, from that line, control directly jumps to catch blocks, searching for a matching catch block that can handle the error. What is that? Searching for a matching catch block that can handle the error. It will search for a matching catch block that can handle the error. Can this catch block handle the error? Can this catch block handle the error? Can this catch block handle the error? Like this, it keeps on searching now. Are you getting me? Yes or not? Suppose I'm giving Y. Okay, now from this line, which line? Control jumps to first it checks with the catch block. Can this handle the error? No, it cannot handle the error. Why? It's a format exception. Can this handle the error? Yes, this can handle the error. Yes or not? This can handle the error. So what will happen? It will enter in the catch block now, executes all this code, and from there again it jumps to the first catch block the first statement present after all the catch blocks. From here again it jumps to here now. See the output. Are you clear? And don't forget here, if there is no catch block that can handle the error, suppose if this catch block is not there, okay, and if the error cannot be handled by these two catch blocks, abnormal termination. What is that? Do you want to see that? There is no catch block handling this error. Correct or not? What is the error? Overflow. Abnormal termination. Hope you guys are clear. That is why as a last option, I added this. See now, you can't skip from anything. 100 and 0. First catch block handled. Second catch block handled. The last catch block is going to handle this check. Are you getting me? The last catch block started handling this one. Hope you guys understood how it works now. Okay. So that is what generally we just require to enclose all our statements in the try catch blocks and carefully handle the errors. Okay. So that abnormal termination will never occur. So the biggest challenge here is what statement should be in the try. What statements will cause the error and what statement doesn't require execution when the error occurred. Did you understand me? What statements are going to cause the error and what statements doesn't require execution when the error occurred. Understand? You got an error on this line. Then I don't require all these lines to execute now. Right or wrong? I got an error on this line. Then I don't require these 4 lines to execute now. I got an error on this line. I don't require these 3 lines to execute now. See what statements are in try? Statements causing the error and statements which should not execute when error occurred also is in the try only. Got it? What about catch? Array, there you are required to write only the statement that should execute when there is an error. When error is there, that statement will execute. When error is not there, that statement should never execute now. That is the code you put in the catch blocks. Clearer or not? So going forward, when we are working with the databases and all, we'll write this code in try catch blocks only so that abnormal terminations will never happen in the code. Clear? Let's stop it here. We'll meet tomorrow. Using multiple try blocks is recommended. Yeah, you can use. You can use multiple try blocks, but every try block should have an associated catch blocks. Every try should have associated catch blocks. You want to write multiple try blocks? Write them. No problem. You can write a try inside a try also. You can write a try inside a try also. Nested. Possible.